Welcome back. Are you already the observer, or still are you tied to just observing the world around you through your physical eyes and senses? What really might be beneficial about being in the observer mode? How you can discover the observer mode? How can you discover looking at this world from different lens, from lens that is beyond just this physical aspect, which is beyond just looking at the world through the same eyes, same mind again and again. For me, this observer mode happened some time ago, and I try to be as well as often as possible in this observer mode in daily life, in lots of situations. It happened for me when I had some context, some experience, some struggle with the anger. I wanted to conquer my anger, but I didn't know how to do it. And then I was handed the tool. The tool was just to try to observe my emotions. And observing the emotions, it opened me up for really engaging the mind and observing the mind. What gave even more, it gave this observing of mind by the mind some other levels. It was observing not only the mind, but observing as well the situations from distance, observing the interactions from distance. Of course, initially it was quite low in terms of how many times I could have be in observer mode, because this interactive mode is much more often in use by us on daily basis. We do not let ourselves to be in this observer mode, so we do not let ourselves to detach a bit from this physical aspect and see the situation just from a bit of distance, from third person perspective. It's looking at yourself from like behind yourself, looking at yourself and feeling that you are just really manipulating this body. Not necessarily it's like, you know, directly connected to your true essence. It's more like just using some leverage, using some elements really to move the body around, to observe how those hands move, even though it's not conscious that you do it. You just move them. Someone just moves them as they are moving. Body is interconnected, yes, with muscles, and they move, but who does all those movements? This observer mode as well was something that I've learned in the reality transurfing, which I got to know a bit, because as well in there I had some ideas about really what I can do about the reality that is happening, why reality is happening, and I'm engaging energetically in this reality, and how really to not engage energetically in some situations that I don't want to engage in. In reality transurfing, it's called pendulums. So those energetical events that try to drag you, really to focus on those, as this focus that we have, this when we land in with our physical eyes, when we land with our human beingness, it's the focus really that is transferring this energy from us to someone else. This focus that plays with our energy by dragging the energy, by getting as well the energy, by interacting with energy with someone else. By this focus as well, you can feel when you interact not only on this physical aspect, not only with senses, but as well sometimes you can feel this energetical interaction by really having some sensations in your spine that really blow like really a ball that is expanding with this specific feeling that gives you the idea that something happened. You don't know what, but you feel that something happened. So this observer mode as well enables you to detach a bit from really interacting with everything and seeing those things from distance and letting yourself choose if you would like to interact or not. So this observer mode as well is the ultimate way of interacting with this world, because we are here in this human vehicle and we are driving through our hero's journey, and if we see that journey as well from distance, if we let ourselves to really control the emotions from a bit of distance, not necessarily already engaging with those in those emotions in the moment they happen, if we just take a breath and just move back a bit and see what is really happening, then our interaction with what is really happening is much more conscious. So this observer mode, so observing not only your emotions, but observing as well reality, observing the events, spiritual events, observing the interactions that happened, the interactions that were needed for you to grow, for someone else to really expand. You have this benefit of being the observer, and this observer as well evolves. This observer is not only on this physical aspect and observing your physical space with mental space as well, but as well observer mode is for observing this spiritual aspect of yourself, your spiritual interactions, your interactions that let others to grow, let others to open up. You sometimes, by being in observer mode, are blessed to see those interactions, those key moments that happened for someone else. You just feel it. As for the spirituality, for the spiritual aspect, the feeling is much more of the direction you should go than really seeing things happening. You just feel them happening. Your intuition guides you that those things are important. Sometimes you are reminded that those things, or you are really blessed, you are enlightened that the event that you participated in, that you brought your energy into to help someone, were the events that were the key for their growth here on earth, were the key to unlock their potential, to unlock one of the key aspects that they are here to discover. So being an observer mode is not only beneficial on the physical and mental aspects, it's as well beneficial, or mostly beneficial, on spiritual aspect. When you discover how those interactions happen, and you discover how much love is then created when those happen, and you start to appreciate, you start to feel much more joy and happiness. You start really reaching your core. And that is so important for us, to be able to get much better context, much broader context of everything that happens. So try to observe yourself. Try to observe yourself on the levels that you can, and you will discover some inspiring connections, some inspiring interactions, some inspiring information that might be key for you. For today, thank you very much, and see you tomorrow. Bye.